everybody, welcome back to Keto in the Kitchen with Pat. I'm so glad you're here and joining us today. And if you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, congratulations on staying on that keto journey. Maybe you're just restarting and maybe you're just starting brand new. But in any case, I surely welcome you. This is a journey, no doubt about it. It is for those of us that are pretty serious about our health and our well-being, and we want to be able to live a good life while eating great and losing weight. Wow, what could be better? Anyway, today we are doing something special. We're making butter chicken. And if you've never had butter chicken, it is something delicious and what I really like also, and you probably will too. To me, it's important to have the right foods on hand in the refrigerator that you can go in, open it up, put something in a dish, heat it up in the microwave, and you're still staying keto. And besides that, this dish is really special, and I think you're going to love it. I know I sure do. So let's get in the kitchen and let's get cooking. Okay, first steps. I am melting 2 tablespoons of butter in a large pan. I have added cut up chicken. This is 2 chicken breasts cut up into what I would consider to be bite-sized pieces. I have put into the dish, before I added the cut up chicken, 1.5 tablespoons of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 3/4 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, and that is what I've added so far. And now I'm just mixing up with a spoon all of the chicken pieces to coat them. And this is good to do before you get your butter too hot. You want that chicken to sit in those spices a little bit and get coated and kind of take in all those flavors. So just keep mixing it up a little bit, make sure it's well mixed up, and then you'll be good to go. Also, we're going to add into the 2 tablespoons of butter into the pan. I am going to dice up some onion, a 1/4 to 1/2 an onion, depends on what you like, but you want to dice that up and add that to the butter in the pan. And then also, my recipe calls for 2 garlic cloves, but I use the minced garlic because it's just really convenient for me and I don't have garlic cloves at this time. So those are the first steps. Okay, I've cut up my onion and I've diced it in pretty big pieces. I don't really want it to totally disappear into the chicken, so I've kept the pieces a little bit on the chunky side. Got a good sizzle going, and we've got those onions in the pan without the garlic for the time being, because we're going to let that cook until the onion gets a little bit translucent. Then we will add the chicken, and once the chicken is near done, I'll add the garlic, because I don't want that garlic to get bitter by being overcooked. So that's my plan. We'll wait till those onions get nice and translucent, and then add our coated chicken. On standby, we have some heavy cream. We're going to be adding at least a cup, maybe a little bit more depending on how the creaminess or how we like it. And we have some tomato paste. I have a small can, but we don't need it yet. We'll only be using about half of that. And then our chicken, of course, standing by and getting all those juices and soaking up all those spices. And checking on our onions. They are getting nice and translucent. So they're ready. I'm going to say those are ready and waiting for the chicken. So let's join the party, chicken boys. Hop right in. And we're going to brown that, and then we'll add the garlic. So I've added the chicken, and I'm also going to switch to a spatula. I want to be able to flip the chicken over and over so all sides get coated, because you do want to cook that chicken pretty well. So this process is going to take a little time, and then we'll add the garlic before we add the cream and the tomato paste. And then our dish is done, so we're getting there already. As you can see, as we flip the chicken over, you can see that some pieces are kind of getting a little bit of different color on them. And that's good because the raw pieces are going to look pretty raw. And you'll be able to tell as the chicken gets cooked. So please be aware of that and make sure it all gets cooked good. This process is probably going to take a good 10 minutes. Continually kind of flipping the chicken over on all sides, making sure it's all getting browned. So we're just going to keep on cooking. All right, now just a little update on the chicken. As you can see, it's getting nice and golden brown, and that's what you want. You want to check every single piece, so be sure to check them. Take a look, and it doesn't hurt to make sure they're cooked very, very well and browned. So check all your pieces. This is kind of how you want them to look, golden brown on all sides. We've got a little more to go because we want to make sure all of our chicken is cooked. Now, one thing I have to say, and I'll just give you a little bit of a tip, once you put the cream and the tomato paste in there, you can also cook the chicken a little bit. It will cook in the cream sauce, but you don't want to depend on that. So like this piece right here also, look at that. That does not look cooked. So you want to make sure that you're rolling these over and, you know, getting them cooked on all sides. All right, this is probably the hardest part of the entire dish. All right, so I think we're ready to add the garlic now. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of that minced garlic, and then we'll continue cooking the rest of the chicken. And we'll be wrapping it up real soon by adding the tomato paste and the heavy cream. Okay, I've added the garlic now, and I've mixed that in well, and we're continuing to cook the chicken on all sides, spotting any possible deviations to see if anything is left raw or uncooked, unbrowned at this time. And things are really looking pretty darn good. While we're waiting this to finish up cooking, browning, turmeric is so good for you. Really known to help keep blood sugars low, also help with blood pressure. And so what could go wrong with having this delicious dish and getting some good turmeric into your system? I say that's a win-win because it tastes fabulous and it's also good for you. All right, so as we're waiting for the chicken, I've gotten the 1 cup of heavy cream poured into our cup. I will probably use a little bit more than that because I generally do. Keep in mind you can always add more after the next day. You can add a little bit more cream to make your sauce a little bit more creamy again. After it's in the fridge, it kind of gets a little bit thick. And then my recipe calls for 1.5 tablespoons of tomato paste. However, I just use about half a can. You know, you're going to want to adjust that based on your own taste and what you really like. You may want it darker, you may like it lighter. It's all up to you. But one thing too, guys, I want to give you a little tip. Because of the turmeric, if you use utensils and you set them on your counter, which I've not done here, but if you set them on your counter, they will pick up the orange from the turmeric. So please be aware when you're cooking with turmeric that it can stain, and so you definitely want to put this, if you have leftovers, you want to put this into a glass bowl. If you put it into plastic, it'll stain. All right, so let's get that tomato paste and our heavy cream added to the pan. I've added the tomato paste, and now I've mixed that in pretty good, and now I'm going to add the cream, and we'll just mix that up. And as you can see, the sauce is turning into a nice golden color, and it's going to continue to get more golden as the tomato paste gets melded and mixed in. So, all right, so we're going to continue that. I think I'll switch over to the spoon just for a moment so I can kind of gently toss all that chicken back in and turning in that tomato paste. Okay, back to the spatula. And you may have to do this too. Switch your utensils here and there based on what work you have to do. All right, it's really coming together, isn't it? So, okay, we'll keep letting that cook, and we'll be back in a second to finish up. Yum. Okay, just taking my spatula. Think of a cake mix, how you have to fold everything in. That's what you want to do with this as well. Just keep folding and folding until all the chicken is coated. It's at this point where I say being the cook is an excellent reward, because I'm going to put my spatula aside and I'm going to grab this little spoon that I only use to put butter in the garlic. I didn't use it on raw chicken, and I am just going to take a little taste of that cream to see if it's right, if I need more tomato paste, or if I need more cream. Don't think I really need either one at this point, but we'll see. Oh, no. That is perfect. I'm going to leave that simmer maybe 5 to 10 minutes just to let everything cook through. And then we just have to add a side dish and we're ready to go. Let's see. What am I going to add for a side dish? Maybe some cooked broccoli. I have frozen broccoli in the freezer. I could put some of that in the microwave with some butter and a squeeze of lemon. That would be delicious. Or I could make a nice, delicious salad. Well, maybe both. Well, we'll see. It's almost there. Now, the rest of the tomato paste I am saving. I'm not going to throw it away. I am going to keep that in the refrigerator. And the reason I do that is I may make something tomorrow or the next day or in a couple days that I need that tomato paste. But also, I've got my leftovers ready to go into the fridge. Now, after it sits in the fridge for a day or two, sometimes you need to add a little more cream, heavy cream, or you may want to add a little more, tomato paste. So it's always good to have it, and it just doesn't go to waste. So hang on to that. If you have leftover, I would advise that. And we're ready to cover this with the cover and put that into the refrigerator for our leftovers. And we're going to get our dish all plated up. I've decided tonight's dinner is going to be accompanied by broccoli. And I've just taken some frozen broccoli from the freezer out of a bag, put it into this bowl. I am going to top it with a cover, put that on there, and pop that into the microwave oven for 4 minutes, and it'll be perfectly cooked. I'll add the butter, top it with some Parmesan cheese, and it'll be ready to go with my butter chicken dish. The broccoli is done. I've added about a teaspoon of butter and a good squeeze of lemon, and then I've topped it with some Parmesan cheese. You know, that stuff that's in the green container. It's already pre-shredded. So the broccoli is ready to be added to the chicken. And while we're doing that, please give this video a thumbs up. Please comment below. I would truly, truly appreciate you sharing this video with everybody. You just never know who's looking for a good keto recipe. So we're just about ready to eat. With a snap of the finger, voila! And that is what is for dinner tonight.